Hi, I am Heather from Come Alive Creations, and I make these cute little bow clips, and I had a request to do a video on how I make them, so that's what I'm going to show you today. So you want to start out with your fabric, and I am not 100% sure how long this is. I don't measure it. I just get a length and start. And then you're gonna want a paper clip. I just use these standard paper clips. You can get them just anywhere. They're the jumbo paper clips though. And I start by just taking my fabric and folding it in half. And then you find the center of it. And I like to just kind of fold my ends under my edges like that and then kind of pinch it. And then I take my paper clip, make sure you're at the top of the paper clip, and you're gonna set that on there. And I just like to kind of pinch it with my finger, and then you're gonna take the right side and stick it through your paper clip and just kind of pull up. And then I like to just kind of hold it out of the way with my other fingers just to keep it out of the way. And then you can take your left side and you stick it up through the paper clip as well and pull it up. And then you're gonna tighten it, and I just kind of work it and pull each side individually and together. Just make sure it's good and tight on there. So then you should have something that looks like this with your two tails. And actually, I will tell you, this is the same process if you want to make a small clip that looks something like this. It's the same process, but you stop at this point and you just clip it wherever you want, like however long you want it. You just cut it off. So when you have it at this point, then you're gonna take the left side, kind of like if you're tying a shoe, and you put it over the right side and then bring it under so that you're like tying a little knot. And then I always make sure this right side is wrong side out facing me, and then I just gently pull. You don't want to get it tight at this point, just pull it to where it's still loose enough that you can work with it. And then you take this right side, and I get it so it's kind of straight, and this is where you're gonna start making the bow shape. You take this and you fold it over, and then you're gonna see this is like a loop here. So if you stick your finger through, you can see that there's a loop there, and you're actually going to take the end of this and stick it through this loop and pull. And the tighter this is, the harder it's going to be to get that through. And then I like to pull it until there's a very small little bow loop over here. And then this part is a little bit tricky. You're going to flip it over to the back side. And so then you're gonna see this is gonna be wrong side facing you again. And then you're gonna do the same thing back here. But if you look closely, there's two different loops. Maybe I should have chosen a different fabric that you could see better, I'm sorry. So there's kind of a loop here, but you want to stick it through, there's a loop right here. And again, you can stick your finger through it. So you can kind of see there. It's just a loop there. So you're gonna take this and again fold it over. So then the end is gonna go through that loop, and just gonna pull it through like that. And so then when you turn it around, you have a funky looking little bow like this. So this is where you're just gonna have to work with it. So you pull it until it's tight, and then you just kind of work with it. I like to take this one and just try to shove it behind this bow loop as much as I can. And then you just kind of work with your bow loops until you get them the way you want them to look. And you can adjust them. So if you pull on the little tails, it will make the bow loops smaller. But you can also take, it's gonna be the back, you're gonna pull the back of the left one to make it bigger, like that. And on the right one, it's gonna be the front one. You can pull it out to make it bigger like that. So I like to just play around with mine, and this part can get really fussy depending on how much of a perfectionist you are. So, and if you like really perfect bows, I think there was a video that was posted by Brenda, I cannot remember her last name, and she made really cute bows that are more of that perfect classic bow look. These are a little more rustic looking, I think, but that is my preferred style. So you just play around with it until you get it looking like you want. And then this little guy over here, you just kind of have to work with him to get him to turn around the right way. So, and you can leave the bow loops as big as you want or as small as you want. It's a personal preference, however you want to do it. And then you have your perfect little bow. And then you can do what you want with the little things here. So I've recently discovered this rip method of the fabric. Tori was amazing to show me how to do that. I love the way that it looks. All the bows that I have in my shop right now are not this way, but this is how I want to start making them going forward. So, and I also want to start leaving a little bit of a tail. I think this is a little too much. So I like to leave a little bit of a tail like this one. You can see I have just these cute little tails here. And these I just cut off at a little bit of an angle like this. But you can also rip the fabric, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you just make a little snip at the angle that you want to tear it, and then you just take it and you tear it. And then you've got these little, you know, strings that come off. And so you just pull them and then snip them off. And then you have this cute little torn edge that I just love the way that it looks. And this little guy in the back can be stubborn to get him to turn around and stay. But so then you have your cute little torn edge. Let me do the other one real quick so you can see what the finished bow looks like. So then you have your bow, and you can just kind of mess with it. If it looks a little crooked, you just mess with it until you get it just right. Where it's a tied bow, it can kind of get off balance and stuff, and you can just really work with it and make it look how you want it to look. But that is how you make these super cute bow clips, and that's what it looks like on the back. And then you can use them however you want to use them. So there you go.